Hey guys, LevelCap here. I'm just waking up in the morning here on my spacecraft. This is a game called Star Citizen. I've been following it ever since it was announced on Kickstarter, and my excitement level has just been growing exponentially every time they come out with something new for the game. What I'm playing right here is the Hangar module. You can get this if you have donated to the Kickstarter or you donate on the website to help crowdfund the game. This game is one of the biggest crowdfunding projects in history. I think they've raised about $35 million so far, and they don't have any crazy producers over their heads making them rush the title or get rid of key features or something like that to get the game out the door. This game is going to ship when it's ready, and it's using the Crysis 3 engine, and the graphics just look amazing here. I can flip down a little breakfast table. This is the Constellation. This is I guess it's sort of like a cargo ship, but it's also got means of defending itself, and this game is definitely going to have a lot of combat involved with it. This is the actual bridge of the ship. Now, before I get into the details here, let me show you the actual hangar here. This is the Deluxe Hangar, and I've got several ships in here to check out. Unfortunately, you can't fly any of them around yet. The dogfighting module is coming out very soon, but the immersion of this game is what really gets me, because there's never a point in the game where you go up to a vehicle and you press E to get into it and you're instantly transported into the cockpit and you're flying, or you never do something that just kind of takes you out of the element. Everything in here is like, you got to get into the ship, you got to start up the engines, you got to fly it out of the hangar. There's nothing that's going to take you out of the element of the game. It's all about complete immersion. And even getting into the cockpit in this game has just kind of inspired me as to what is capable with modern day games. The level of detail here is just amazing, and that was one of the cool things about how they crowdfunded the game. Is it wasn't just sort of like, hey, if we get more money, then that's great, we'll put it towards something cool. They set specific goals, and they said, you know, if we meet this goal and we get this much more money, we'll bring a new ship into the game. And at first you're thinking like, oh, with one new spaceship, but then you see the interior designs of these ships, and it's just amazing. You know, a lot of time and effort went into making these ships look realistic, look really well detailed, and this is just a single pilot ship. Players are going to be able to basically control ships that have multiple decks on them. They're going to be huge. They're going to be like over 150 meters long. They're going to be able to have bays in them, hangar bays for smaller craft like strike fighters that you can launch from one ship to attack another. And so you can actually have your friends controlling fighters that might dock on your ship or might fly out of your ship when you engage somebody else in combat. And this sequence here is actually from a single player campaign that you can play within the multiplayer universe of Star Citizen. So you can literally join the military in Star Citizen and do a tour of duty on, say, this carrier here, and then you go on sort of a linear campaign, and when you're done with that, you come back to the normal multiplayer universe of Star Citizen, where you can play against other players, you can play against NPCs, you can even just, if you want to ignore that whole aspect, you can just do the dogfighting module and have a bit of fun fighting other people just in space with whatever kind of fighters you choose, even in more of a competitive setting where you're not as worried about losing your ship. Now, this is a huge, awesome looking carrier ship. I don't know if you're going to be able to take individual control over a ship like this, but that ship I was showing right before this is a Corvette class. That's the Idris, and that is one of the largest ships that we know that players are going to be able to control. And revisiting the hangar module here, this is another ship. This is called the Freelancer. It is a long-range hauler, so basically a smaller cargo ship, but as you can see, it had a lot of missiles on the wing there. It's got some pretty heavy weaponry mounted to the side there, so it can actually be repurposed as sort of an exploration vessel. And all the ships in the game are actually going to have so much customization options to them, weaponry, engine wise, defense wise, that you're going to be able to take a ship that might be an awesome cargo ship and turn it into a fairly hefty ship for fighting or pirating or whatever kind of profession you want to take. Now, that's another part of multiplayer, is you don't have to necessarily just run missions all day. You could actually just be somebody who actually preys on other players out there. You could get into PvP and take out other people's ships. Or maybe you'll be somebody who transports cargo, but you know that there's danger out there, or you're transporting cargo through dangerous areas of the galaxy for higher cash rewards, so you bring along some friends to defend against pirates, or you deck out your ship really well to defend against pirates, so you're kind of looking for a fight at the same time. So there's, again, just seems like a lot of different ways to make your way in this this game. And here we've got the actual cargo door on the back of the Freelancer. And what's so cool about this, aside from the animations just being awesome, is that I can actually park this little kind of golf cart style buggy in the back of the Freelancer there, and it just goes to show you that it looks like you'll actually be loading the cargo into your ships when you're running missions. This ship here is the Hornet, and I have a feeling this is going to be a fan favorite. It's pretty much one of the first fighters I think they designed for the game. It's the Navy's standard fighter. It's got 5 different variants so far. You can like run a stealth variant, you can run like a Super Hornet variant, you can run sort of a civilian style variant of this ship. The cockpit just looks amazing. When I get into here, you're going to see like some insane detail, even for a ship of this scale. The cockpit looks like something that you would expect to see when you climbed into a spaceship that only had a small area to put every single control you might need to operate. And if you find yourself inspired to go do a little bit more research after watching this video, I highly recommend checking out the Dogfights module demonstration that the devs released very recently, and everybody's flying this ship around, blowing each other up. Things are pretty in an unfinished state, we'll just say. Things are not finished, so there's without a doubt glitches and things don't look quite right, but still, just to see the game in like the earliest playable state that they have it in, and flying this ship around shooting each other, it's just an awesome sight. Here we are back at the Constellation, one of the largest ships you can get in the hangar module currently. That is the bridge that I just passed there. And just doing a walk around of this ship really is inspiring. I mean, the levels of detail and also the changes in design. Each ship has its own kind of manufacturer, so ships that come from the same manufacturer might have the same kind of lines to them, but if you get one from a different manufacturer, you're probably going to get a ship that looks as different as, say, a Toyota and a Ferrari look different from each other. So you're going to get very cool stylized looks to the game. The universe, of course, has huge story around it, so the manufacturers and all that stuff might make ships that are more inspired by pirating or other things like that, and you'll see some of that with, say, the Cutlass ship that has just become available in the hangar module. And look at this bridge, like all the glass here. It's going to be really cool because this game, aside from just looking great and super detailed, it's going to have Oculus Rift support, so you can actually put on a 3D head visor and look around the bridge or the cockpit while you're in a firefight in space, and that just sounds like the coolest thing ever. So if you're looking for something that's sort of a space sim, sort of a first-person game, just to spice things up a little, I really think that this game is going to change things for the space simulator genre. Really excited about it, can't wait to see more of it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.